Men. What do they want? Money. Men. What do they want?
I'll tell you what I want. It's disgusting. I want someone who doesn't cheat, doesn't lie, and cuddles with me at night and lets me know that everything's gonna be okay, even though it's not. And apparently that's too much to ask, but let's see what she has to say. Maybe it'll be something
Money, status, fast, expensive cars. What is the ultimate?
Actually, I would say that all of those things are coping mechanisms to protect us from loneliness and the deep, dark void of nothingness that's welling up inside of us from a young age.
Male fantasy. Is it fame, fortune, 3 hot chicks at once? Hell yeah, brother. No, according to men on the internet,
that's too much, okay? I come home from a long day at work, I'm tired. Loving one person, like genuinely loving and caring for one person, is fine. Especially if you want to please them. Like, women are hard to please, apparently. Three's too much. One good one that doesn't cheat, it's fine. That's fine.
it's something a little more simple.
Cripples! I'm sorry.
This is literally just a fetish. I fucking hate men so much. Men are why we can't have nice things.
Really? Oh god, this is gonna be good.
As I was working on an upcoming video, I made the terrible mistake of logging onto Twitter, where I saw this post. A montage from the anime Josie, the Tiger, and the Fish, a movie about a college student who is assigned to take care of a paraplegic girl, and spoiler, eventually they fall in love. Many men were yearn posting in the replies of this tweet and talking about how they wish to fall in love and would love a relationship like this, while many others, mostly women, were absolutely f***ing disgusted at this. Why would a bunch of men be fantasizing about being with a woman in a wheelchair? Seems pretty creepy and predatory, right? Also just unrealistic and problematic. Well, in this video, we are going to be talking about why so many men resonated to that clip and this movie, and why so many people are so confused as to why. We are also going...
oh my god. I think people just have a bad habit of just assuming the worst of, like, everything, okay? It's genuine connection. That's it, okay? Like, and people are like, oh, why would I want to date a girl in a wheelchair? Yep, because life is more than just being super efficient and getting everything you want all the time. Sometimes connection and meaning actually makes life worth living, even if you don't have a lot of money or wealth or whatever, you know?
I'm going to be reading some absolutely unhinged tweets, as usual, to get to the bottom of why such a wholesome post turned into, once again, another battlefront for the ongoing, never-ending gender war. Men versus women, women versus men, the male loneliness epidemic, the female loneliness epidemic, the dealing with dating apps. Do men prefer thin women or curvy women? Brunettes or blondes? Do women like dad bods or fit men? Do they like beards or clean-shaven?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Let's quickly get into today's sponsor.
Go!
Skip. Tourist of all, but I basically know nothing about anime. I am probably the most tourist of all the tourists. Yeah.
Get to the tweet.
Counting VTubers, completely understand dilly-dally no longer and read some of these angry replies to get a better understanding of what the issue is, shall we? Wholesome male fantasy, and it's fetishizing a disabled girl for him to control. Oh. Oh no. They think, oh god. Why? Always vulnerable, always happy, always needs you. Pretty perverted. Where are these fan fictions coming from? There were like hundreds of tweets just like this. Why did they see a cute montage of a happy couple, a man and a woman happy, together? I know, unheard of. Why did they see that and then immediately come to these conclusions? Like, as someone who actually...
Because they deal with their problems by blaming the world. And everything with the world is wrong, and everything about the world is why their life is not great. It's why they're lonely. It's like, it's so funny to me, okay? I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. Okay, you have a female loneliness epidemic and a male loneliness epidemic. It seems that lonely men and lonely women are in a perfect position to solve each other's problems. But no, they just blame literally everything about each other and refuse to do the obvious thing, which is, be together and love each other and not be lonely. Holy frick, people are stupid. But anyways, this is crazy. I don't know, man. Play.
Watched the movie, Josie is not always happy, and she's absolutely not portrayed as some like vulnerable ooh-woo sex doll waifu. She's boisterous, she kind of has a foul mouth, she's very sassy and headstrong, she like straight up calls him her servant, but she was also very depressed. She basically never left her house. She was basically a girl failure. As a former girl failure, I love to see representation in media. But they actually show her disability, like, not in a good way. Like, they don't romanticize it, they don't sugarcoat it. And I noticed, unlike a lot of movies, unlike a lot of romance movies, at least like the Hallmark kind, where it's like the stuffy male lead learning to live life from the quirky, cute female lead, he's already got his shit together. And she learns to live life from him.
How dare they? How dare the woman be the one that has to grow, right? No, it's always the men that have to grow in those Hallmark movies, which is why I don't watch them, because they're uninteresting and boring. Men need masculine figures to look up to. And then they take those away from us and wonder why we don't give them our money to see their movies.
Encourages her to live her dreams. And in return, he learns to live life in a completely different way. And I thought that was really cool and sweet. Also, the animation was really good. Is anime good? Have I been sleeping on anime this entire time?
Yes.
His fantasy is that she becomes permanently disabled and helplessly dependent on him, but can still make him a sandwich.
Oh my
Sounds
god.
about
Like, that is literally no man's fantasy, okay? Like, all men are not that insecure, okay? Like, this is ridiculous, okay? I would like to have a woman who doesn't need me to do everything for her. A sandwich every now and then is fine, but I actually like cooking. I like it. I will make her a sandwich for fun. We will take turns making each other sandwiches simply because we enjoy the act of cooking and we want to make each other happy. Wow.
Right. Oh my god. After watching the movie, these tweets are even more insane. But even putting the movie aside, just seeing that like cute montage out of context, where the fuck are they getting this? These are very clearly just two happy people. But because the caption was the average male fantasy, their mind immediately goes to the darkest, worst faith interpretation of this. The problem is these people can't see any humanity in men. They can't see any humanity in humanity in general. Average male fantasy equals girlfriend with no agency who's completely physically dependent on you and forced into blanket subservience and compliance. Sounds about right. You males are weird for fetishizing physically disabled women. Average male fantasy is having a physically disabled girl that they can abuse however they want. Got it.
No.
Not to be that guy.
No, it isn't. It's really not. It's really not. I don't want to have to cater to her every need. I would rather have a woman who's somewhat independent and is not needy and doesn't whine and cry and ask me to do everything for her. Trust me. I've seen that. It gets exhausting. I prefer a little bit of independence in my women because I don't want to have to be called upon every 20 minutes of the day for this or that or this or that. It's like, holy frick. A partner who's strong makes it easier to run the ship in my mind. So
I'm gonna be that guy. The infantilization of the physically disabled here is a little, dare I say, ableist. The implication here that people in wheelchairs cannot find love, and if they do, the person who loves them literally just loves them because they can't run away. Weird. Average men can't even be nice to their healthy and normal girlfriend. What makes you think they'll be able to handle a disabled person as their lover? Whoa. Normal? What do you mean by normal?
Yeah,
these people are just so ableist, chat. Can you believe it? Chat? Chat? I don't even live stream. Who's chat? I'm disabled, blind, so I showed this to my boyfriend. He says, I love you because you're you, and you make my days happier. So what if I have to drive you places or help you with cooking and cleaning? I would have done that anyway. Disability has nothing to do with it. I love you. Ma'am, I don't know how to tell you this, but, your boyfriend is a rapist. Sorry you had to find out this way. You show this as fantasy because it's not true for the majority of men who participate in abuse of disabled people. No.
Oh my god. Really? What kind of unhinged, stupid people are we producing with our education system? Who thinks that? No, seriously, who thinks that that's actually it? Like, that's actually how it goes. Like, holy frick, this is ridiculous. These people are so lost inside their own bubble. It's crazy to me. Absolutely crazy.
No, the fantasy is the woman appreciates his efforts to make her happy. Stop lying and abusing women and the disabled. Your meds, schizo. You don't even know that fucking guy. What do you mean stop abusing women and the disabled? Bitch, who are you? Also, the majority of men participate in abuse of disabled people. Are you okay? The majority of men are not abusers. That is a very, very small minority of men. The majority of men are men that just wake up, take a shit, get out of bed, take a shower, go to work, come home, and wait for GTA 6 to come out.
Yeah, that's us. We don't abuse people. Okay, like, you clearly have done no work to get outside of your bubble and actually meet people. Okay, like, we're not terrible human beings. Like, this thinking is ridiculous, and this is why I'll never be on the left. Okay, I might be disillusioned with conservatives, but hey, to their credit, they don't think like this. They're not completely stupid in this way. Like, holy crap, my goodness.
That is the majority of men. Men commit 95% of all rape, but okay. Barging into the romance section of Barnes & Noble like, attention everyone! Rape! Where is that?
Yeah, so, but very small percentage of human beings in general do that. So it's not like 95% of the male population does that. It just, of the small subsection of human beings that are evil in that sense, it tends to be men. Because, surprise, surprise, they're more physically stronger. And that's just the way it goes, which is unfortunate. And I hate that. I hate the fact that that's even a thing, but it is. And that sucks. But honestly, for you to, like, just think that all men are just doing this, it's ridiculous. These people are actually, like, have a couple screws loose, and they don't know, like, how to think.
Where's that coming from?
This is ridiculous.
So close. This is fetish content. Ah yes, the dirtiest, most taboo of all fetishes. A happy relationship. Honestly, in 2025, that might be true. Oh, you want a wife and kids? You sick fuck. But this is literally just a perverted fantasy, LMAO. You think it's a perverted fantasy because...
not.
How do I put this nicely? You are a pervert. Literally seeing a cute montage of a male and female character having fun together, being in love together, and being like, rape! He's a rapist! This is a fetish! Are these people okay? Stop watching porn. Wait, this is a woman. Okay, stop reading Taken by the Werewolf Billionaire.
You can tell that these people... what you perceive as evil says a lot about you. And when you start perceiving normal, good, wholesome things as evil, that probably means that there's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with you. Okay, like, this is ridiculous. Like, honestly, why are people like this?
Whatever the fuck I don't know. Read. I swear to God, some of the shit women read would make the most depraved internet Goonar blush.
I'm sure.
Or so I've been told. This is literally just a fetish. Okay, listen, I'm not gonna pretend there's nobody out there who's like, she can't run away, she has no legs. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend there's nobody out there who has a crippled, disabled fetish, okay? I've been on the internet for 20 years. I've been on DeviantArt. I've seen shit you wouldn't believe. But the majority of people, probably most, if not all the people responding to this, do not have a cripple fetish, okay? In fact, her being in a wheelchair basically has nothing to do with it. Much like how females coom over, like, vampires or, like I said before, the billionaire werewolf fantasy. This is just the average male fantasy distilled down to its most extreme. So,
yeah, if we're gonna talk about weird fantasies, why do women fantasize about vampires and werewolves? Like, those things kill people too. How dare you? How dare you fetishize, you know, monsters and terrible creatures that do bad things? How dare you fetishize billionaires? What, you don't love people for who they are? All you want is money? Really? Like, come on. Seriously? Like, if you're gonna make that argument, you could very easily make the argument that, oh, women are evil and all they want to do is take men's money because they fantasize about billionaires. But no, that's not true at all. It's ridiculous.
what is the average male fantasy? The average male fantasy is the fantasy of both men and women alike. It is simply to love and to be loved. But more specifically, the male fantasy is to be a protector and a provider for those that they love. Put a pin in this because we are going to come back to this in a big way, trust me. The average male fantasy is being a globally known terrorist. The average male fantasy is that a woman who isn't fat. The average male fantasy is actually job security. You know what? These guys may have a point here. Pedophile alert. Men want disabled child wives. Average male fantasy is a disabled child. More proof that men are pedos. That's a little girl.
Oh my God.
This is weird. So, first of all, she's literally older than the guy. The guy is 22 and she is 24. In anime years, he is practically hag maxing.
Oh my God.
And yes, she may be physically disabled, but aren't all men
Seriously? Like, people can't even be bothered to, like, look into the source material before they say crap. Like, it's amazing. You know, there's a great book you all should read. It's called Anti-Fragile. Okay? If you're the kind of person who's scrolling through social media, you see something, make an assumption, do no research about it, and then make these kinds of tweets, you should probably read that book. Stop being such a triggered little moron. You know, like, just saying. Maybe don't be like that. Maybe grow up. Maybe.
men mentally disabled in their own special way. At least the ones in my audience. They will freely admit this. Maybe she, the older woman, is taking advantage of this sensitive young man. Have you ever thought of that? She looks like an 11-year-old child. Where are her breasts?
Oh,
First of all, really weird way to say that. She looks like a child. Show me her titties. Also, I love how, like, when anime women have huge boobs, it's disgusting, Goonar porn brain or whatever. But if the anime woman has small boobs, she is a child and you're a chimo. Can't fucking win. Also, if she had big boobs, they'd absolutely be like, wow, look at this sexualization of the disabled. Also, you know, like, adult women can be flat-chested, right? Like, that actually exists in real life. Like, adult human women can have small boobs. We love all titties here on the Shoe on Head channel. All titties is good titties. End of story. Women fantasy. A boyfriend with depth and a loving, soft, deeply caring side of them. Men's fantasy. 12-year-old anime girl who looks and speaks like a toddler. Also,
oh God, no, it's not. It's literally not. These people are so lost and clueless in the head. It's ridiculous. Oh, oh my God.
notice how she's literally the shape and size of a child. Yuck. Have you people ever seen a child? No, you're all childless. Silly me. She's not even that short. She's just sitting. See, like, when they're laying side by side, she's like a full-grown adult woman. Why do these people look at this and immediately think of child rape? Go to therapy.
You know, like women can be shorter than men, right? It doesn't mean they're a child. Like, holy frick. I swear, these people are the dumbest.
Therapy. And listen, I know with anime can get a little weird, right? Like, excuse me, Poo Poo Pee Pee Chan is 2,000 years old, and this is Poo Poo Pee Pee Chan. But this does not even look like a child. This looks like a cute woman. This is like a random rant, but I feel like there are no more cute women nowadays. You know what I mean? You have all like
Yeah, I
the
know what you
Insta baddies, the e-thoughts, the e-girls, the muscle mommies, the boss babes, the boy babes. But I feel like every woman is just hot now. Which, by the way, I don't think is healthy for the male psyche whatsoever. You
It's
shouldn't
not.
wake up and be able to scroll through pictures of, like, the hottest woman you've ever seen in your life, like, 20 times before you've had, like, your morning cup of coffee. You shouldn't...
It's literally not. That is literally not healthy. This is why I deleted Instagram and deleted all that and reprogrammed the algorithm so that I don't get shown any of those photos anymore. Okay, I don't do that because I recognize this is not healthy and it's screwing me over, and I don't like getting screwed over. And so, yeah, like, I cannot emphasize this enough. Okay, guys, listen. If you're still with me here, still watching this, stop doing that. Please, stop scrolling AI-made women that are not real. You are damaging your brain and you are damaging your ability to actually fulfill the ultimate male fantasy, which is to love and be loved, okay? With a real woman that has natural beauty, the problem is you won't be capable of perceiving her natural beauty as beautiful because you will have been brain damaged and brainwashed by these AI models on Instagram, and you're like, you're not going to be able to see them as beautiful for what you are. Like, trust me, it's a bad road to go down. Reprogram your algorithm. Every time a picture of a hot girl comes up, hit uninterested, delete. Reprogram the algorithm, get rid of the apps, start going out into the real world and talking to real human beings. Touch grass, go start conversations with real human beings. It'll do wonders for you, okay? It'll change your life for the better, okay? I promise you this. I promise you it'll change your life for the better. I'll probably make a whole video on that soon, so make sure you subscribe for more of that stuff. But, like, trust me, you do not want to end up a 35-year-old Goonar who lives in his mom's basement, works or doesn't work, plays video games, and then just, like, goons and scrolls through AI-made Instagram women. You know what I mean? Like, don't do that. Don't let it's a slippery slope. I'm telling you, it's a slippery slope. Don't let that happen to you. Trust me.
Log
Anyways.
in and immediately be one-shotted by 1010s all day. As if that wouldn't make you go insane. As if that wouldn't make you crash out. Like, back in the day, you'd probably see, like, one fine dame on your bus ride to work, and you'd think about her for 40 years until the day you die. That's how it used to be. That's how it should be. Now every woman is like a crazy, hot, unobtainable Instagram goddess with the fattest of ass. Zoomers don't know how good we had it. You'd go to Blockbuster and the 21-year-old cashier behind the counter would be the most adorable woman you've ever seen. No Botox, no lip filler, just a pure soul, full of joy and whimsy. And now women are full of hate and SSRIs. But they're hot. They're hotter than they've ever been. They're hotter and more depressed than they've ever been in history. Sad. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, anime.
And it's not working. It's not. And you know, by the way, our brains are programmed based on what we see most often. So you see all those 40-year-old women with Botox and lip fillers, and it has a very similar kind of look, right? Now you got all these 20-year-olds getting the same Botox and fillers, and they look older than they are. You got plastic surgery to look old. Because normally it's women in their 40s getting those things. And so our brains associate that look with older women. Then all these 20-year-olds come along and get the exact same thing. And it's like, no, actually you look older. You look old. Like, just accept your natural beauty. Okay? Like, just accept yourself as you are. Like, a person who is so mind-fricked and bent out of shape that they can't be attracted to anyone but an AI modified Instagram baddie, like, you don't want to be with them anyway, so don't try to please them. Okay? They're not good for you. You don't want to be with them. Trust me.
I didn't take my Vyvanse today, could you tell? Men's fantasy. A big titty woman with the face of a 16-year-old that is useful for cooking, cleaning, and sex. Women's fantasy. Gets treated like a queen and a man who keeps tracks of our periods so he can take care of us. I think I speak for a lot of women here when I say our fantasies do not, in fact, include men tracking our periods. Personally, if my husband was like, honey, just a reminder, you're in your luteal phase, I'm taking the kids. Men like to pretend they want this, and then they beat their wife when dinner isn't ready or their son when he's misbehaving. First of all, I'm sorry that happened to you. But there are in fact good men out there. I've seen them. Some may be in this very audience. Sorry, I couldn't keep a straight face. This is the shoe on head audience. You're all gremlins. Male fantasy equals a woman that can't run away from him. A woman that's dependent on him. Interesting. When men are involved, it's basic survival instinct to assume the worst. Men are guilty until they prove themselves innocent. You know what?
No.
I take my opinions back on free speech. I changed my mind. No more free speech. No more free speech until you bitches learn to behave. A woman's...
But these people are so dumb. I don't know what else to say, but like no, men are not like this. Men are not inherently like this. I just want the freedom to work hard and to love somebody who is also free to work hard on things that matter to them. That's what I want. We don't even need to have the same interests. You just need to have good communication and be able to give each other space to pursue our interests and then come together and do things that we mutually like. Like, why is it so hard for people to just think normally about life? This is really, really weird.
Fantasy is a man who won't rape her, and a man's fantasy is raping a woman.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't.
I'm sorry, where is the rape, ma'am? Maybe that's how you see it, because you're brainwashed to hate men. So true. I hate how... But in reality, women are the real demons here. Oh, god damn it. We just want a happy relationship. Is it so much to ask for? Yes. Yes, it is. Oh look, more misogynistic Goonar fantasy slop written by misogynistic Goonar men. This is why 70% of anime is garbage. So here's the thing, that misogynistic Goonar fantasy slop written by misogynistic Goonar men was actually written by Saiko Tanabe, a woman. A woman wrote this story. And I feel like a very important detail everyone is sleeping on when they covered this was the fact that this is very much the female fantasy as well. A man loving you for who you are despite your flaws, literally sweeping you off your feet and carrying you around on adventures, helping you live out your dreams, face your fears, and supporting you through the good and bad times. You're going to sit here...
Hello? Yeah. Like, it's... The good fantasies work together to make a really nice story. Okay? Like... Yeah, who doesn't want to be loved and taken care of sometimes? Like, yes, men are, we are inherently designed to build things and take care of people, and that's good. Like, good for us, right? But we're not, no man is an island. Like, we need to be taken care of too sometimes in different ways, like emotional support, you know, people being there for us. You know, maybe a sandwich every once in a while when we come home from work, you know? Like, everybody needs something. Everybody needs to be taken care of. And it's when two people love each other enough to mutually agree to participate in taking care of each other when they need it, simply because they love each other, not because they're completely helpless or useless on their own, because they love each other. All right? Now, that's a fantasy that I can get behind. And I intend to have that. I will work tirelessly to get it.
And tell me that's not the female fantasy too? Is this not the basic female fantasy? Is this not the knight in shining armor coming to rescue you and falling in love with you? Why on earth are so many women so mad at this? Are men now the hopeless romantics? Are men now the ones yearning for a fairy tale romance? Is this why all the Disney remakes are like, she's not gonna be saved by the prince, she's a strong, independent woman? Meanwhile, men still want to be the prince, men still want to be the knight in shining armor. Men are like, I will save you from your monotonous 9-to-5 job. I will give you a house and babies. And women are like, no, I must be an actuarial consultant. Be gone, vile misogynist. Is that what is occurring here? Also, that aside,
yes, kind of.
There literally is a gender-swapped version of this story called Perfect World. It is a manga. Manga? Mango?
Manga. It's manga.
Oh, no. Do not come for me, weebs. Men will statistically
Oh, well.
leave their wives and partners the moment they find out they're disabled or have a life-threatening condition. You're right, it is a fantasy. Actually, that study was debunked by the authors themselves, who admitted they did the math wrong. It's actually not much higher, but then again, even if it was, and it happens, I've seen it happen to people, it's terrible. Marriage should be through sickness and through health. But that's not really the point here. And the fact that so many people are focusing on the wheelchair part of this just proves that they just don't get it. The ones of pure mind and pure soul get it. But these f***ing
I feel like people... People have experienced like so much in life, and I feel like we isolate ourselves in our minds, and in order to make ourselves feel better about the fact that life isn't going the way that we want it to, and the world isn't giving us what we want, and trying to make ourselves... It's easier to be the victim than it is to be the hero of your own story. You know that? Like, it's easier to insert yourself into a bubble and write yourself a narrative of reality where you're the victim. Everyone else, literally everyone else, is the problem. The world is the problem, men are the problem, women are the problem, this, that, capitalism, culture war, politics, Trump, blah, blah, blah. Everything else in life is the problem except for you and your actions and your choices. I feel like a lot of these people, that's what they suffer from. They're suffering from an unfulfilling life, which is terrible. I don't wish that on anybody. But the way that they're dealing with it is just writing a narrative that paints them as the righteous victim. Everyone else is evil, and I'm, a righteous victim. All men are bad, or all women are this or that. But it's not true. It's not real. There are lots of good men out there, lots of good women out there. Not every woman is a 304, baddie that's going to leave you the next time she meets a millionaire. Like, not every woman is like that. Not every man is a rapist or an abuser. Like, it's just not real. And I feel bad for people who have such a broken mindset that they don't think that they can literally just go outside, talk to strangers at the mall, meet people, and eventually find someone that's perfect for them and treats them the way that they need to be treated and level up their life. Like, if your mindset is that cannot, will never happen, I'm sorry, you have a bad view of life. No wonder you're upset. No wonder you're constantly sad. You've locked yourself in this prison of doom and gloom. Okay? I'm single right now because I'm working on myself. I choose to be single because there's a couple of things I want to fix in my life, and it'll be faster and easier for me to fix them if I just focus on them relentlessly. And I will build myself into the kind of man that I look up to and am proud of, and build a life worth being a part of. And then I will go out and invite someone into that life, right? But I know for a fact that I can just go outside to the mall, start having conversations with people, practice having conversations, get used to it, random people, not people I'm attracted to or want to date. Once I practice it enough times, have about a couple hundred conversations over the next course of a couple of weeks, I will then starting conversations with women. I will buy a $40 course on the language of women or just how to speak to girls and be confident. I'll start asking for people's numbers. I'll probably have to ask for like 50 numbers to maybe get like 10. And of those 10 numbers, maybe 4 will agree on the first date. And out of those 4, maybe 1 will agree to start dating me. And huzzah, I'll have a girlfriend. It's just numbers. It's the law of averages. The more you ask, the more chances you have of getting a yes. I know this because I worked in sales. Door-to-door sales, in fact. And so yeah, in my mind, I'm single right now. But I literally could go out and get a girlfriend whenever I want to. It would not be hard. Okay? All I would have to do is face and endure humiliating rejection about a couple hundred times. And then I would find someone who says yes. It's law of averages. It's math. That's all it is. It's just math. So that's my worldview. So I'm not going around being bitter and angry and just hating all the time. Like, no. Like, I know there's plenty of good women out there. I just need to go out and find them. I'll do that when I feel like it.
Semen demons out here. They don't get it. But not all semen demons. The amount of people in comments who just don't get that men want a cute, loving girlfriend is beyond me. They call them creeps for wanting actual love and not a girl boss who only wants your money. Ah, thank you. A sane person.
Yay.
Hopefully the replies aren't full of people calling her a pick-me. Pick-me alert. Least obvious pick-me. Me, pick me please. Hope he picks you, sis. Pick me, pick me, pick me.
Really?
An incel could have written this. Fuck. Why are so many VTubers either pick-me's or racist? You mean why do so many female VTubers disagree with you? Why so many aren't towing the mainstream liberal feminist NPC line? Because they can. See, the most powerful weapon women have against other women is social ostracization. You don't want to be seen as a pick-me or a racist, so you keep your mouth shut in order to survive in female social circles. But in the cases of VTubers, virtual YouTubers, they're basically anonymous. They can say anything they want. They're basically wearing a mask. They're
You know, that's a good point. I never thought of that before. That's really
free
cool.
from the chains of the eternal HR longhouse. But apparently even being anonymous online does not save them because they still get doxxed for simply not hating men. Lovely. Maybe I should save this rant for a different video someday. Moving on. Men are why we can't have nice things, by the way. First of all, men make all the things. Thank you.
Hey,
also, I just realized
it's true.
It was a man.
It's true. It's true. I worked at a factory. You know, I'll tell you a quick story. I worked at a factory, all men. There was one chick, one cute little chick who was a welder. And then we hire a new HR lady, and she says, we're going to do more for diversity and equity and inclusion. 2 weeks later, they fire the only woman. All male. All men. It was great. It was so funny. It was like, we hired a new HR lady, and they were like, diversity, equity, inclusion. Fired the only woman in the factory. It was 100% male. I'm just saying, it was funny. I thought that was funny.
It was a whole ass man saying men are why we can't have nice things. I don't deserve this trophy. This is for you, sir. This is for you. I'm not worthy. Listen, I make women jokes. I'm very critical of feminism and propaganda aimed at women. But you will never catch me in a million years saying some shit like women are why we can't have nice things. I have a mom. I have female family members. I have female friends. Maybe one day I'll have a daughter. Women make the world a beautiful place, and like men, can be flawed and deserve criticism like anyone else. But there's something genuinely so cucked about people who put down their own gender or race. Oh god, race. Self-hating white people. Don't get me started on self-hating white people.
Don't get me?
White people are so evil. I hate being white. White people can't dance. White people food is so gross. You're not getting into Wakanda, bro. You're not getting invited to the cookout. Enough.
Yeah, don't get me started on the whole white guilt thing. I don't have it. I'm not guilty of anything. I don't have white guilt because I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't own any slaves. I didn't abuse and enslave any race at all. What my ancestors did is irrelevant. I wasn't alive. I am not accountable for someone else's actions. Therefore, I am not guilty of anything. I am white. I'm kind of happy about my white heritage. And I expect everyone else to be happy with their heritage because every race has beautiful and wonderful things in their history. So, yeah, I don't have a shred of white guilt, like at all, like none, and I'm happy with that. So there, subscribe if you vibe.
But yeah, women were not the only ones who had a problem with this. There were a lot of men who didn't quite relate to this being the average male fantasy. It's fine to love the disabled. I didn't need to remind you that. But to glorify it? This anime is certainly Marxist propaganda. The movie is about him.
Who sees a person in a wheelchair in love and cries, Marxism? They're attacking capitalism. The people in wheelchairs. The Marxism. It's like oh man. Oh my god, these people, I tell you. It's crazy.
him taking a job as her caretaker, and when he learns of her dreams, he makes it his mission to help her dreams come true. So it is Marxist propaganda to help a disabled person pursue their dreams? Yeah, it's woven in. Empathy is the target of propaganda. Marxism is when girl in wheelchair. I love this. Empathy is the target of propaganda. Every piece of media that makes you feel empathy is communism. Political brain rot. If you're at the point where you see this and you're thinking of communism, you need to log off. You are unwell. I'm sorry, but when I reproduce,
the brain rot is strong with these.
I don't want a
ones,
high
probability that.
Ability of my offspring being mentally or physically retarded. We need a better class of incels whose bar is higher than the retarded. She's not retarded, she has a spinal injury that's not genetic. Also, what is this LARP? I love how everyone is just kind of having like a normal conversation about this clip, and this guy just comes out of nowhere like, I would never put my pure white seed in such a vile creature. Like, you absolutely know this guy has a non-white girlfriend. They all these like I hate white people women always have white boyfriends. All these I hate non-white people boys always have non-white girlfriends. I don't know what it is, but I've seen it too many times. I guarantee you when this man logs off of his Black Sun Roman statue Twitter account, he's clapping Latina booty cheeks. My fantasy is not being a simp, but okay. Fellas, is it simping to love a woman? Nah, this is not the male fantasy. That man is—
Oh my god, okay, simping is not the same thing as being nice, okay? Like, if you use the word simp for just general kindness and being nice and caring about someone, you have brain rot. Your brain is broken, okay? That is brain rot right there. Kindness is not simping, okay? The origin of simping is Gooners and guys who will just bend over backwards into a pretzel and do anything and everything for women no matter what. No accountability, even for women who don't return anything in return. That's simping. Being kind to someone that you're in a relationship with and just treating people with general kindness is not simping. You have brain rot, if that's what you think. Sorry.
As a beta male. If she wasn't in a wheelchair, she would leave him for Chad. Fellas, is it beta to love a woman? This is not my fantasy. This is some gay shit, to be honest. Fellas, is it gay to love a woman? What no pussy does to a motherfucker. Brother, I've seen what pussy does to a motherfucker. It's far worse. The average male fantasy is taking care of their crippled wife. I don't think I've ever had that fantasy before. I thought it was going to be about going on some quest to kill the dragon to win the princess or something. It is. That is the average male fantasy. But there are no dragons to slay. There are no princesses to save. But there is that little old lady in the grocery store who can't quite reach that top shelf. There's that heavy box the pretty girl you work with can't quite lift herself. There's that jar of tomato sauce your wife can't quite open. There's that Lego set your little son can't quite put together himself. Or there is this paraplegic girl who wants to see the ocean. This is the Princess and the Dragon story. And despite what many are told, men do have a lot of love to give. And they want some kind of excuse or mechanism to show that love. In a world where men expressing themselves is either seen as toxic or gay. And one way of expressing that love is solving problems. Men fucking love solving problems. I don't know what it is. They also love reading Wikipedia articles. The amount of times I walked over and my husband is reading a random fucking Wikipedia article about like the world's tallest buildings or like a random battle in World War II. I didn't know if this was autism or what, but apparently it's a man thing. Anyway, yes, men love solving problems. And it's
what we do. It's what we do. And like somebody's got to do it. The way I see it, it's a perfect distribution of necessary tasks, okay? You got one gender that gives birth to the baby and does a lot of work to keep it alive. Then you have the other gender that hunts the deer and builds the house to keep the baby alive. Hello? Like, you must produce offspring. You have baby needs to be kept alive. You must provide food and shelter, but also nurture and nourish the baby and create a good environment in the shelter. Instead of having one person do all of those things, it makes sense to just logically divide up some of the tasks from a naturalistic point of view. So yeah, we're problem solvers, but we're not very good multitaskers. And so Yeah, we solve problems. That's what we like doing. Not that women can't solve problems. It's just that we have a more, on average, more natural inclination to do so. Doesn't mean women aren't smart. It's just like they usually use their smarts for different things.
In a world that
Sometimes.
makes them feel useless, makes them feel like they have no purpose, men desperately feel like they need to prove their worth. They are desperately looking for a purpose in life. So it is not at all shocking to me that the modern young man is seeing a clip like this and longing for this. A lot of modern men don't have a chance to prove themselves, to make something of their lives. They don't have a chance to provide anything for anyone because they don't have anything to provide and they don't have anyone. They are doing everything their grandfathers did, but seeing none of the results. They're
Preach it,
lost.
sister.
What can they provide? And as I said earlier, her being in a wheelchair is the protector and provider instinct taken to a extreme. And yes, it is a fantasy, considering if you ask anyone who's actually in a wheelchair, they know it's not all butterflies and rainbows, and they know that it's hard on relationships. It can be difficult on their partner. But just like in the movie, it's not shown as butterflies and rainbows. Josie feels like a burden. But towards the end of the movie, the guy takes on that burden. Not because he gets something in return, but because it's his duty. Because it makes her happy, which makes him happy in return. Loyalty.
Which is the story of all good men. Fathers, husbands. Like, you take on burdens for purpose. That is part of having purpose in life. If you have no burdens, what the frick are you doing? Do you not have a job? Do you not have a spouse? Do you not have a child to take care of? Do you not have bills to pay? Like, all good things are a burden in some sense. No work, no reward. You want to make money, you have the burden of waking up and going to that job and performing well at that job so that you can keep that job. You want a spouse, you have the burden of being a good husband and taking care of your spouse and having good communication skills and working through your problems. You want to have a child, you have the burden of keeping it alive. Like, taking on burdens is what we do. And you show me a man with no burdens, I'll show you a deeply depressed, lost individual. Good men who are living good lives have burdens, and they bear them well, or to the best of their ability. It's not always easy, sometimes we fail, but a good life is not a life without burdens. Just so you know.
Acts of service, big or small, men live for that shit. And yes, these are stereotypes, not everyone fits into these boxes, blah 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 blah, but for the most part, it's true. When many men look at this relationship, that is what they see. And a lot of modern women are looking at this relationship and being disgusted because, in a way, it's the complete inverse of the strong, independent woman they've been sold. They've been told they need to be. The modern woman crafted by modern Disney for modern audiences. Unlike the Hollywood-crafted modern woman, this woman does need her man. She is not strong and she is not independent, at least physically. This doesn't mean she's like an empty vessel with no thoughts or freedom. No, in fact, in the movie, Josie does roll away from him a few times. It is a fantasy not because of a power imbalance, but because the man has a tangible purpose, and the woman is willingly and lovingly letting him fulfill that purpose.
Because I can depend on you.
Holy frick. We figured it out, guys. This is it. This is it. We need a purpose. And we need someone to lovingly allow us to fulfill that purpose. And so if that's something that you resonate with and you're trying to find that in your life, I'm on that journey too. I'm trying to find it in my life and making this YouTube channel for you guys so that we can actually figure this out together and encourage you one another is part of my journey to having my purpose. So subscribe if you vibe, and let's finish out the video, I guess. But yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with what I said in this video.
I know that if I ever feel frightened, I can just reach out to you.
Men simply want something good to die for, to make it beautiful to live. This manifests in a lot of ways, but the most common is having a loving partner and or a family. Something unobtainable to many people nowadays. So yes, literally one of the most normal things ever is becoming a fantasy. Sad. Also, men will deny this, but
Yeah.
they absolutely have a biological clock. It may not hit in your teens or your 20s, but one day you're going to have a dream. You have a little daughter making you pancakes with your wife in the morning, and you're not going to be able to get it out of your head. And that is the male biological clock. Everything you do, the money you make working that grating 9-to-5 job, it will all be for something bigger and more important than yourself one day. You will come home to a warm and happy home, greeted by people who care about you, and love you, and rely on you, and everything will make sense then. Until then, you'll just be on the internet, being called a misogynist, for wanting something bigger and more important than yourself, for wanting something beautiful and normal. And that is the average male fantasy. That and 3 hot chicks at once. Hell yeah, brother. Haha, you know what I'm saying? So that was that little video. Men in the comments, let me know. Am I correct? Is that the average male fantasy?
Yeah, more or less. Yeah, I would say that's actually a very good way of summing it up. And I'm probably going to steal it and use it. Because I think that's a great way of summing up how I feel, how men in my life feel, and yeah. Subscribe if you vibe. You can check out more videos right here. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Cheers.